The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
You know, first things first, I got a little something to get off my chest. You know, I was sitting at home with my mind and my Bijan and my Marion and my mind, and I see a message in our group chat by one of our best friends, Monster Zero. The hardcore legend, the vulgar guru of horror, has departed the show. He's leaving behind some pretty big shorts to fill because, folks, literally, his balls are enormous. All right? And I have something else to say to any detractors about our ability to move forward with this loss. And to them, I say, you suck, pal. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Because the way I see it, this is a new beginning for this podcast. This is the genesis of the Trick or Treat Triumvirate. And it starts tonight. Oh, yeah. And by the way, I have 6 words for you. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome all you little zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 493 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein, also at the Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven Chateau, the newly lit Raven Chateau. Also in Casa de... Oh, wait. That guy's not here anymore. Also, the Lair of the Gods. We are once again broadcasting now from 3 locations. This is weird. 3 locations. But we will only be broadcasting from 3 locations for 1 week. Because right off top here, I'll say one thing we wanted to do, or, kind of talked about, and one thing I thought would be good was, Monster Zero is one of a kind, as we've said. He is there's no one like him in the world. And I felt that it was probably a good idea to not attempt to replace him the week after. So we are not going to replace him this week. And it's just going to be the 3 of us. The 3 of us are going to just go about the show like we normally do. And just be the 3 of us. But moving forward, we have some ideas and some plans that we're hashing out. Not sure what form they're going to take or how long it's going to take for them to, take shape. But we will be making an announcement soon about what we want to do, whether it's going to be just the 3 of us moving forward, whether we're going to look for a 4th. Maybe we're going to be, fucking Voltron. Maybe we'll get 5. Maybe there'll be 10 of us. Who knows? Who fucking knows, right?
And I'll foam the head, Johnny.
If we're a Voltron at 10, I want to be the dick.
Aries, that's not a stretch for you.
No, it isn't. So I figure I can just slide right into that one.
Ooh, you can slide right into it.
I'll foam the teeth. Good. Perfect.
Oh, man. Yeah, we're off to a great start here already. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to, this week, just the 3 of us. We figured as a tribute to MZ, since the man cannot be replaced, we didn't want to replace him the week. Is that a picture of him? They say rest in peace on it?
Yeah.
But, since we're missing MZ a little bit this week, I thought, you know what? Maybe we'll have him, just kind of here in spirit with us. What do you guys think of that? You think it'd be good to have MZ in spirit?
I would like that.
Okay.
If you bring up a picture of his balls, I'm out of here.
All right. Well, there we go. All right. So we just will watch him die over and over and over and over.
On a loop. There you go.
To celebrate his life.
Yep. Yep, and
And he's
gone.
out. And he's out. This might not make sense for people not watching the video feed, but if you are watching the video feed, we have MZ laughing at his own joke and passing out on a loop. So
I love
there you go.
so many fucking nuances to this. This should be taught in film school because just the way he says his own joke, we all laugh. He laughs. I love it. He's cackling over, slaps both his legs.
Yeah.
And 3, 2, 1, out.
Oh, and then he almost falls out of the chair. And
Yeah,
then-
but-
That's when he comes to, and you cut it a little short, but I do love when he like gives a quick look around. Did anyone see that?
yeah.
Like he does like give a quick little. Did anyone see that? Can I get away with this?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh god damn. Dude is so magical. It's not even fun.
He is magical. He's a miracle, as Corny might say.
He is bless his heart.
Bless his heart, yes. So we are missing MZ, but the show must go on, as they say, Raven Shadow, right?
True.
So we will continue on, the three of us this week, and we have a guest coming up next week. We'll announce that a little bit later in the show. But what we're going to do for the next few months, we've actually had a lot of things already set up. So what we're going to do is in the next 2-3 months or so, we're going to have guest co-hosts, mostly people from the past who we've had on the show or are good friends to the show, and we're going to have them on, and we've already got a bunch booked out. So looking forward to that, and I think that'll add a nice little dynamic and be fun for us. So we'll get to visit with some old friends and other podcasters and luminaries. So it'll be fun. So that's the announcement. It's not much of an announcement, but you can expect to see hopefully a different guest co-host hanging out with us for the next 2 to 3 months until we're ready to announce something. And then from there, we'll, who knows? We'll see what happens after that. But looks like Corny's upset. He says, "Thanks for telling me y'all are starting."
Raven Shadow, you had one job.
Yeah, one job. Why don't you tell Corny?
All right, wait a minute. Pause for a minute. I got a message, Coney.
Well, he knows already.
Yes, we'll pause a live feed.
Yeah. So you can text Corny even though he already knows. Got it.
Fucking Coney. I'm sorry, Coney.
You better be.
Well.
And Marion says, lol, 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 lol. I made she sees the gif of MZ, and she says, I made a second gif with more time, with more of his recovery. I guess I grabbed the wrong one. I thought that was the most recent one, but alas, he is present and accounted for. That might get tiresome, so I might turn it off soon. But for now, it's still making me chuckle, so we'll keep it on as long as we can. Raven Shadow, what's going on there? It's awfully dark. Did you switch and go to the sexy speakeasy there? What's going on there?
Hey, thank you, Johnny. I am the sexy speakeasy now. It's more than just a.
You are the sexy speakeasy? Is that what you just said?
I don't think I said that, but I am the sexy speakeasy. Yes, I'm becoming one with the but no, I tried some little mood lighting. I tried. It's very bright in here, and I wanted to capture the old Castle Wolfenstein dose, but it's very bright, and even with some dim bulbs, if you will.
Oh, there's a few dim bulbs in that room.
Yeah, but I can't find the one that's dim enough. So I got this little, table lamp from Marion, very nice, and trying to add some mood lighting. Apparently, I fucked it up, the good version, before the studio, and Wolfie and wouldn't let me touch it anymore. They got mad that I was touching it too much.
Yeah, don't touch it.
So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna get some other accoutrements.
Accoutrements, huh?
Yeah,
Nice.
that's French for extra shit.
Is that so?
Yeah.
So let's see what else is going on. Oh, Raven Chow, you hosted a Blackout Tapes.
Oh my goodness! It was another triumphant.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, how'd that go?
I think it went really well. We went deep. We had a lot of attendance. Yeah, it did, and yeah, it went long. There was definitely some blackouts involved, at least on one side of the phone. But I don't want to forget anybody. But we had great attendance. We even a couple of newcomers too. So it was a great chat about some nerdy topics, and I hope everyone had a good time. Definitely had a late night and early morning the next day. But truly, thank you for everyone that hung out for tapes. I hope you guys, you folks, had as much fun as I did. So thank you.
Now, I know you blacked out because for the hell of it, the next morning I just looked and you were the only one still on.
It's funny because Marion did remind me. She's like, "Hey, you're still logged in." And, I'm like hitting buttons like fucking animals playing drums. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like, am I out? He said, yeah.
I hung out for, I don't know, like the beginning. I was there for like a few minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes at the beginning, and then I came around later, and I saw you guys were like, like talking raw at like 1 or 2 a.m. And I was fucking beat. So I knew if I said hi, I probably wouldn't be able to like go to sleep after that. I'd probably just be like want to like hang out and talk. So I ended up just kind of ducking out. But it was like, I want to say it was like maybe 2 a.m., 1:32, and I saw there was a bunch of people on there. So looked like it was a pretty good turnout.
That could be fair. I think we went until about 2:30 Eastern Standard Time, and it was hard for me because I've been using my tablet for the blackout tapes because I'm having an issue with my headphone, my earbuds in my cell phone. So I use my earbuds in the tablet. I feel I get better sound quality. Mm-hmm. But so I'm down in the basement, fucking holding my tablet, but it's folded.
Tablet?
So my tablet. So I don't always see who's coming in and out like the Royal Rumble. You know what I mean? It was awesome.
Yeah, so it sounded like it was a really good time. So nice job hosting a party, Raven Shadow. You did good.
Thank you. Praise me, Johnny.
I think I just did.
Just praise me slower.
No, you're done. That's all you're getting. So, what are you doing? What, are you just crawling along on the fucking couch?
What? I don't.
What is he doing?
It's weird because now we can't see the rest of the house, so he's staring into a black void now when he leans over like that.
Ollie is like an Empire when they're trying to get out, they're trying to fix the Falcon to get off a Hoth. And like Ollie is now like behind the couch doing something, running amok. Like, what are you doing? This one goes here, that one goes there. I don't know why he's back there, but I hear him like moving around.
Well, he probably hit a treat or something back there.
Yeah,
maybe. And trying to find Chloe.
You're not going to find her there.
Yeah, no. She hates podcasting. She's a big fan. My cat's a big fan of terrestrial radio. She likes what do you call it? I don't know what's terrestrial radio. Like
It's terrestrial radio.
I guess yeah. What do you call it? Like not AARP, but what's like the news one? What's the
NPR?
NPR.
Yeah.
WNPR. All right, so on tonight's show, I thought about what we're gonna do in the first show after MZ. This movie had been on my radar for last year because it got a VOD release late. I think it was actually early to mid December of 2021. So it was kind of on the radar, but I didn't necessarily want to do it for December double feature Cram Jam because I had a feeling like this could balloon into a very in-depth conversation because it is the name of the film is Red 11 and it is directed by Robert Rodriguez, And not only is it directed by Robert Rodriguez, but it also has his kids. Rebel and Racer worked on the film. It was co-written by Racer, and Rebel did the music for it. So it's kind of a family production, and we'll dive more into it later on when we get to it. But the really interesting part about this is that it is a film made for less than $7,000. So he essentially wanted to go back to his roots when he made El Mariachi for $7,000, and he wanted to try it again and show people that in this day and age, you can still do this. You can still make a movie with a budget of $7,000 or less. You just go out there, just be creative, and you just do it. So that was the idea behind it. And so he ended up doing an entire 6-part kind of behind the scenes of this, which unfortunately I don't think any of us saw, which I am very interested in seeing. But, after getting through December Double Feature Cram Jam, I didn't want to do a movie and a 6-part TV series. So that is something I would like to check out, and maybe it's something we can bring up down the road, when we get a chance to watch it. But it seems like that was sort of the idea behind it, was to kind of show that you can do this, and also to kind of make a behind the scenes, series about how you can do it. It's almost like a film school in a sense. That's kind of what he calls it, is Rebel Without a Crew, the I can't say that. The Robert Rodriguez Film School. So, and he says, we'll talk about this when we get into the movie, but at the beginning of the film, there's a little intro, and he talks about that, and he says this, you only getting kind of half the picture when you see the movie, but when you see the behind the scenes, you'll see how we made it, and you'll see like a film school of how you can do it as well. So I'm super curious to check that out, and I'll say that Robert Rodriguez has probably been one of my favorite directors over the past 25 years, and I'm sure I'm not alone in saying that. So I had a feeling that this conversation could balloon out into more than just a film discussion, into more of a discussion about his work as a whole, and kind of his roots, and also his book, Rebel Without a Crew. And it is something I read many, many years ago now. Like, honestly, one of our friends, you got it there, yeah. One of our buds, Dr. Joey Tron, actually let me borrow it. And I ended up reading it. Is that the copy?
It's funny. This is actually Tron's book. Yeah.
That's the one then. That one's made the rounds then.
Yeah.
So, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, that's the one that I read then. And I don't know, it must have been like right after we met. So probably thinking like 25-ish years ago. But yeah, big fan, always been a big fan of his stuff. I'd say over the last few years, I haven't been as, like, as like keying in on what he's done. Like I still didn't see Alita Battle Angel, which I actually do want to see. I just haven't yet. And I know he did a bunch of stuff with, his network, El Rey. And aside from that, what else has he done? He did like I'm looking at his production credits. Let me see his directing credits. Yeah, he's done some shorts and man, I'm trying to see the last thing that he did that I saw. So it's been a while. I mean, I think it was Sin City, a Dame to Kill For in 2014.
Well, Johnny, too. I mean, nothing. If you're a fan, I'm not sure if you're a fan of Star Wars.
Well, I was going to get to that. I'm talking about film work.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Right. Fair. I mean, his output is definitely diversifies. Hard fucking action shit to more family friendly fare to comic stuff. Sin City I thought was brilliant. Mm-hmm. The first. And I truly wish that Dame to Kill For should have came out when The Spirit came out, because goddamn, that was disappointing. And I'm not sure why Dame to Kill For didn't work for me as much, because it is my favorite Sin City story. maybe it was the fact that, a lot of actors have died since the
Yeah,
first.
it's true.
Um, and not that their replacements weren't great, but I mean, we lost Michael Clark Duncan, we lost Brittany Murphy, the woman who played Miho. I think couldn't do it because she was, maybe pregnant at the time. And I would have loved to see fucking Thanos in Goonies. Oh my God, his name's escaping me.
Thanos.
Josh Brolin.
Bro,
Josh
yeah,
Brolin.
Josh Brolin. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because Dwight is my favorite character in Sin City. And those who read the comics, he has two faces. So when we see, oh fucking, what's his name? God damn. Oh my God, the one with who was the first Dwight in Sin City 1?
Well, let me pick it up.
Thank you.
Let me pull it up here. So we're talking about Sin City 1, right? Right now.
Clive Owen. Clive Owen is Dwight after his surgery, and Dave to Kill 4 took place before. There's fucking timelines.
Yeah.
But basically, Dwight. And I thought it was a missed opportunity not to have Clive Owen reprise the role of Josh Brolin's Dwight in Dave to Kill 4. If that makes sense. Trying to enunciate. I miss Monster Zero.
You really broke up.
Yeah, because he would have pulled the Sin City reference.
Aries is not helping.
Well, when you just like pause with nothing, like you got to give me something.
Talking about Sin City, you like that?
Yeah, I know, but you're talking about a Dame to Kill For, and then you go, the guy, and just pause. Clive Owen wasn't in Dame to Kill For, so you didn't give me anything to. I didn't know you were going back to the first one.
But it should have been Josh Brolin in the beginning, and it would have been dope if it was Clive Owen at the end when Dwight got his new face and grew his hair out a little bit to have the shaggy bangs.
Well, the problem is they should have told that story first.
Interesting. Even though that wasn't the first Sin City graphic comic series, rather.
Yeah, well, the story with him, that story took place before the story in the original Sin City, because you didn't know that he changed his face.
Right, you're right.
I mean, it wasn't hard to figure out, but it was. You weren't supposed to know.
Yeah, it just Dame to Kill For, I think, came too late. Did you like that, Aries? Did it work for you?
It was fine for me, but then again, I don't have a huge problem with the Spirit.
I mean, it was not good.
I don't hate that movie. The movie visually was spectacular, but the story was a little lackluster. The acting was over the top, but I think it was designed to be. I mean, it was just it's a watchable movie to me. It's an okay story, but beautiful.
Sam Jackson in a Nazi outfit on the phone. Like, oh, hell no. And Scarlett Johansson, too, which is kind of funny. Even though that's not the Spirit character. But I just think time. I think by saying that, I mean timing-wise.
Well, the Spirit came out before Sin City, before the first Sin City.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Are you positive? Why are you going to say it weird like that?
I'm positive. Would you take your COVID test, Raven Shadow?
No, I'm referencing a movie that Jesus Christ.
Well, let me check just to make sure. The Shadow. Oh wait, not the Shadow. Spirit.
Spirit.
I was like, wait, what? That's a different thing.
Oh, no, he's right. Yeah, Spirit came out after Sin City.
Yeah, I thought that was the case. So Spirit was 2008.
Because that was Frank Miller's first directorial solo picture, and Sin City was the one that Rodriguez left the Actors Guild, I believe, to co-direct with.
It's true.
Miller.
Yeah, so that was 2005. So yeah, it predated it by a little bit, a couple of years, but yeah, both those films are like stunning. Like they look amazing. Like it's such a cool vibe that he went for, and I just love that he just went for it like that, you know. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot we can talk about with Robert Rodriguez. I mean, from El Mariachi to his first film, to obviously his first big success being Desperado, and from there on, like Planet Terror, the Spy Kids series, whether or not you dig that or not. Once Upon a Time in Mexico, which is fucking incredible. The Machete, Machete Kills, and apparently coming out soon will be Machete Kills in Space.
Perfect.
So, but yeah, and as you mentioned, he is the executive producer for the Book of Boba Fett right now, because he came on and did an episode of Mandalorian season 2 with Boba Fett, and he was just getting pretty much universal praise for what he was able to do with that, the action and just the way he presented Boba Fett. And so he was basically given stewardship of Book of Boba Fett, and he's executive producer. He directed the first episode, and I think he's doing 2 other episodes in the 7-episode series. And it looks like he also has a Zorro TV series that's coming up. So,
Really?
yeah. I think it's the one, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the one that I think Rocky had mentioned to me. Let me see. Yeah, I don't see a cast listed yet, so it might just be announced. But if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Wilmer Valderrama or whatever, the dude from
70 show?
that 70 show was playing Zorro, I think.
Really?
I don't know if it's the same project.
See, there was a Zorro TV show, I want to say 88, 89, that was in syndication. It was on Sunday nights, and it had Duncan Richelieu. Maybe I'm saying his name wrong, but he was Dracula in Monster Squad, and he was also the banker. If you ever saw that, 80s VHS direct-to-cable movie. And I really adored that. We used to watch that. I watched that with my parents on Sunday nights, and it was like one of those early syndication shows that I really enjoyed.
That was called The Banker?
No, it was Zorro, but the
Oh.
guy he was Dracula in Monster Squad, but he also was in a movie called The Banker, which had basically he was like a rich guy, like Craven the Hunter. Like he had a weird bow and arrow crossbow setup, and he would hunt people with face makeup, and he was a bad guy.
He would wear face makeup.
Yeah. They used to play it on like HBO and Movie Channel back in the day.
Not familiar with that at all.
But Monster Squad, it was the dude.
Yeah, I know Monster Squad, yes. But I just wasn't I was unclear what you were explaining after that. It sounded like one thing rather than 2 things you were talking about there.
Okay, so these are actually 2 different things. The Wilmer Valderrama is doing, he's going to play Zorro in a Disney production, and it looks like Rodriguez is doing it's a female take on the classic hero of Zorro from NBC, with Robert Rodriguez and his sister Rebecca writing and directing.
Interesting.
So that's cool. I hadn't really heard of that prior. I knew about the Wilmer Valderrama one, but so yeah, apparently there's 2 Zorro series. I think they're both series. If one's on NBC and one's on Disney, I assume they are. So
now I would be interested with the female Zorro, but I'm a little disappointed that it's on network television.
Yeah.
Well, it could be on Peacock, their streaming service, which they'd have a little bit more leeway for, doing more with it, I suppose. It just says NBC, and NBC owns Peacock, so, or vice versa. So I'm not sure how they're going to do that. So, but yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about Robert Rodriguez as we continue on. But obviously, he's a even just talking about like Planet Terror, and he's a pretty outstanding filmmaker in his own right, and he's done some pretty outrageous stuff, and a lot of varied stuff as well. From kids stuff to Grindhouse to Boba Fett to starting his own television network, the El Rey network. So pretty amazing career for a guy who got his start making a $7,000 film. So just goes to show you, like, it's all about talent, and if you can get that talent out there and be able to get it into the hands of the right people, and they see what you can do, then I'm not saying you're going to have a career like Robert Rodriguez, but there's a lot of different things you could potentially do with that. So good for him. So we're talking a little bit more about him and his film work, and but especially Red 11. That's the one that we're going to be focusing on. Let's see. So speaking of Book of Boba Fett, Raven Chat, have you started it yet?
Yeah, no. We just finished the second episode right before we went live tonight.
Oh, cool. Aries, have you seen the second episode?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously no spoilers for people who haven't seen it, but what do you think of it so far, Raven Shadow?
I thought I enjoyed the first one fine. I dug the fuck out of the second one.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty universal. I think first one was a little hit or miss for some people because it was a setup episode, so I could see going either way. I think ultimately it was a really good setup episode, but the second one was pretty fucking outrageous with some big reveals in the storyline and some great action as well.
100%. And once again, to be like for a setup episode, that was fucking better than a lot of fucking episode finales. So I mean,
for sure.
I'm not hating, but I think this one really got the cut of his jib, and I'm like, oh, and I'm a fan of certain alien races more now than I ever have in my 40 plus years of Star Wars fan.
Who's your favorite in the second episode?
The dude with the fucking
the Ithorian?
I think so.
Hammerhead? The mayor?
The mayor. Fuck that dude.
The Twi'lek, his major domo.
No, I hate him. No, one of the Tuscan Raiders.
Oh, okay. The warrior, the one that trained him in the Gaffy stuff.
Yeah, he's my dude.
That's a she.
No shit.
Yeah, she's your dude.
She's my dude, dog.
But yeah, that's it. There's some pretty outstanding stuff in it, and that the action sequences. I won't say like specifically what for people who haven't seen it yet, but there's like, the I'll call it like the heist. I guess we'll call it. I thought that was like, it looked great too. Like the production value on something like that for a show is outrageous.
That's a fucking movie quality budget, right?
Oh,
that's
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's more than $7,000.
That's a Disney budget.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, major fucking buku bucks on that. So yeah, but that's cool stuff.
Count buku butts. Yeah.
Now, I'm going to try to word this as delicately as I can in the risk of spoilers. Did you guys catch the reference to a deleted scene?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty fucking awesome.
I mean, I was like, did I just? And I had to look that one up. But I was like, wow, that is amazing.
Yeah. Actually, Double D called into the Star Wars show and was talking about it as well. We had brought it up, but yeah, it's pretty outrageous that they did that. So there's a deleted scene from A New Hope that is essentially canon now and made its way partially, or characters and places made its way into the episode. So it's pretty fucking crazy. Yeah, it's pretty good shit. All right, so I'll talk more about Robert Rodriguez in a few. Anything else you guys want to bring up in the intro here?
Well, Not that I am sad that he's gone, but I do want to say something without hearing a groan. Been waiting a long time to be able to say this. I think Will Smith is a decent actor.
Oh, dude. What are you fucking talking about, dude?
And
Wait, do you
I
like
hope
do you like Chris Pratt too?
I do. I really enjoy Chris Pratt, but he just really seems to have a chip on his shoulder for Will Smith, and I hope he's listening right now and just cursing me out for even bringing it up.
Well, number one, he's not listening. He's not going.
Well,
to
he
listen.
might because it's the first episode. He might.
You want to see
He
if we're
probably
gonna
didn't
run
go
him
this
down?
deep.
Yeah. I was gonna see if we're gonna run him down or something. And besides, he's not doing anything right now, anyways.
No.
What's he gonna do on a Thursday night now?
Yeah. Well, he can't figure out what to do with himself.
Raven Chow, you doing a Lloyd Dobler over there? In your eyes. Oh man. So yeah, we could talk about superhero movies if we want. We can talk about Star Wars. Talk about Will Smith. Talk about Chris Pratt.
I thought it was just like, oh, I saw Will Smith. And you're just making a statement about Will Smith.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, just yeah, because anytime you would say that, he would just go on his whole like wishing the guy death because he thinks he's a bad actor. Like he hates him. Like to the point I don't quite get it. Like I hate some actors, but I don't wish them death. Like it's like to the point. It's like, yeah, I should not mention Will Smith when MZ's on.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Well, one thing I did mention, I got a little brushed aside. I forget we recorded so many episodes in the last couple of days. I forget which was mentioned when. But I did go to the theater, Johnny.
Oh yeah.
And I was having anxiety about it. But it was Christmas Eve at 4:30, which we figured that okay. That's people actually see their families. So we got tickets. It was a very small theater. I mean, it was not a small theater. It was smallly attended theater. And showcase downtown, Blackstone Valley rather.
Yeah, that's not close to downtown, but okay.
Yeah. But there may have been like maybe 30 people at most. We literally had like rows apart. We wore our masks. But I did see Spidey in theaters on Christmas Eve.
What'd you think?
Once the anxiety left, it was really fucking dope. It was amazing and spectacular. And it
was it insatiable?
Yeah, it was borderline.
Now I'm going to guess the anxiety left as soon as the movie started, and you just disappeared into your fanboy world.
Well, it's funny. Like I totally would have been fine to wait for Disney Plus, but
you've been waiting years.
Yeah, but Mary wanted to go, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna do it, and we didn't want to gather with like people, so we went to a movie theater. But truly, like there really wasn't any. Like there was very limited attendance. Although I did, it's funny. I was wearing my Hail Satan T-shirt that we got from Salem. I forgot that I was wearing that when I went to the concession stand. Got a few looks by some people on Christmas Eve. But
well, you could have gone the route that I went, and I went and saw Spider-Man on the Sunday after Christmas at the drive-in.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? Yes.
Interesting.
No anxiety, no mask. Me and the missus bought a pizza, snuck it into the drive-in. Not that hard to sneak a pizza into a drive-in.
Yeah, I was gonna say they search your car or something. Like, how is it not easy to do? I guess.
Now, mind you, when I put the window down, the waft of garlic probably hit the girl at the window. You know,
that's just my breath.
Yeah.
Vampires.
Oh, Marion says I'm proud of you, Raven Shadow.
Thank you.
In the chat. And she asked which drive-in areas.
The Menden Twin.
Oh, okay.
Now, I wish I held off because now they're running Spider-Man and Ghostbusters together, and I definitely would have gone to see that.
Oh. What was your double bill?
It wasn't. It was just Spider-Man for when I went.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, Spider-Man on one screen, and then I don't know why anyone would pay $30 and sit in the cold for this. Elf and Christmas Vacation,
Yeah, you can just watch them at home. What the fuck?
and they're just on TV. Like you will stumble upon both of those.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Hey, assholes, come in the cold, fuckers. But Spidey was dope, and I ain't fronting. Time I saw it, I was fucking 44 years old, and I ain't lying. There was some fucking waterworks. And Marion was like, "Oh, there was somebody in a few rows over because they were so far away, was audibly crying." I'm like, "You sure that wasn't me?"
Are you sure?
I'm not quite convinced because it was fucking. There was some vapors.
You know what? Like I probably mentioned this before, and I haven't seen any of the new Spider-Man movies. It's not that I don't want to. I just haven't yet. You know.
Wow, I'm shocked because I think they are by far the better of the Spider-Man movies.
I didn't
This
see
one-
any of the Andrew Garfield ones either. To be fair.
Those aren't terrible, but they are watchable.
And I come to think of it, I don't think I saw the last Sam Raimi one. Was that Spider-Man 3 with all the villains? I don't think I even saw
Yeah,
that one.
don't bother with that one. I'm not gonna bullshit you. Don't bother.
Yeah, that was bad. Actually, I haven't seen a Spidey movie in theaters since Raimi's 3. And that, I will say this, it's a fucking great trailer.
And that's it.
That's it. It's bad. Yeah, Garfield 1 was okay, and I couldn't get through Garfield's second one. It's not his fault. It's not his fault at all. Just I think it was miscast. Just misdone. Just missteps.
Miswritten. Yeah, it wasn't a good movie.
Yeah.
For what was there was good, but it just there was poor, character development, poor character motivations, poor villains. Like it really wasn't. It should have been a generic superhero movie for what you were looking at.
I just think the execution was flawed. I think there was much like Green Lantern. I think it was overly ambitious, and the execution was didn't execute.
No, see, I think the execution was fine. I thought everything before the execution is where the flaw came in. You got a blue Electro. You got I don't even know what Harry Osborn turned into.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, it was just it's madness all over the place in that movie. Like the execution was the best part of that movie.
You mean the end credits? But no, I think you're right. Jamie Foxx playing a derivative version of Jim Carrey in Batman Forever is essentially what that character was.
Exactly. And although it kind of was brushed over, I like the redemption in the new movie.
The new movie was fucking dope.
It was, but I mean, you agree that like they just kind of brush over the fact that now he's different.
Agreed.
And that's how he should have been from the get-go.
Yep. And I love Jamie Foxx. It's one of those things where like I've only gotten probably like 30. It sounds almost like the Indiana Jones movie, the new one or the newer one. I can only get
Crystal Skull.
Yeah, I can't get past the 35, 45 minute mark. Fuck, I just can't do it. I just can't.
Speaking of movies I haven't seen, I actually have never seen Crystal Skull. I've seen bits and pieces on like TV years ago, but yeah, like I just kept hearing negative things, and I just didn't really have the desire.
Don't bother. I wish I could say, yeah, watch it for this, but yeah, just don't even. There's nothing worthwhile in it. Even like the few callbacks that are cool, not worth putting it on for.
I would say watch it for Karen Allen.
Why?
She's fucking dope. A much more suitable companion for Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but she was very lackluster in it, and the character was awful, and her storyline was awful. So why even bother saying watch it for her?
True.
So, Raven Shadow, apparently you have plans this weekend. Because Marion says, that's pretty sweet. Raven Shadow, we are going to the drive-in she's referring to. And then she says, Raven Shadow, we're seeing Ghostbusters this weekend, FYI.
Interesting.
You get room in the back seat because I want to see Ghostbusters.
Aries wants to be your third wheel.
And although she was a sport, the missus, I don't think I can get it another drive-in in the wintertime.
Yeah.
We brought 3 blankets with us, and she had them all.
Is it safe to keep your car running during the whole thing?
You can't. They won't allow you to keep your car running.
Okay.
And if you leave your windows up, they will fog up.
Oh, shit, yeah.
You gotta find that sweet spot, that miracle crack where just enough air gets in to keep the windows clear but not freeze your ass. Oh yeah.
Can you like open the back windows a little or?
That's what I did, but she was getting cold, so I had to close her back window and open the 2 windows on my side of the vehicle to keep the windows clear.
Man. Evil Corny says, "Don't see it, Wolfie." I think he's referring to Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
And Marion says Marion was disappointing in Crystal Skull.
Oh.
So let's see what else we got here. I think that's it. I think it's all the chat for now. We should probably wrap this up, and then we'll head to the film discussion in a few moments. So, speaking of Patreon, since we had a lot of stuff going on last week, we recorded our Patreon episode, but I haven't released it yet. I wanted to give people a little break because we had the show come on Friday, and then we put out the year-end show the next day on Saturday, and I wanted to give people a little bit of time to kind of digest stuff. So we're going to put out the Patreon episode this weekend, and we have video feed for the people in that tier. We have the audio. And so I'm going to put that out this weekend, and it's the companion piece to the year-end show. And you guys can hear our personal top 5 lists, and we do our Dear God No Award and talk a little bit more about the top 13 list. So I don't know if anyone has listened to people have listened. I mean, they've downloaded it, but the year-end show, I think we had some pretty good discussion, and I think that the top 13 list was pretty interesting. There's some films on there. Not that I'm surprised they were on there, but I was surprised some of them were rated as highly as they were. And to me, number 1 wasn't really a surprise. I kind of figured that would be in the front runner. But 2, 3, 4, 5, like all kind of surprising. So if you guys haven't listened to that, it's on the podcast feed, and I also put up the video feed as well, so you can check out the video on our YouTube, and also on trickortreatradio.com. If you find the post for the year-end show, you can find the video in there as well. So you guys should check that out, and if you have feedback, if you think our lists are fucking crazy, if you have your own list, please feel free to share them. We did get some voice messages. I think we got one, and we got an email, and right after we recorded the episode, I looked at my email, and there was an email with another top 5 waiting in there for me after we had finished. So unfortunately, it didn't make it on the year-end show, but I'm going to play it tonight. So we'll have a top 5 list from EF Contentment. So looking forward to hearing that, and also have another voice message. So as of now, we have 2. If anyone else is listening live and you want to get a voice message in, you have a little bit of time, maybe an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. So if you're listening live, feel free to get it in. You can talk about Red 11. You can talk about Robert Rodriguez. You can talk about your top 5 lists, end of the year stuff, anything you want. Send it to podcast@trickortreatradio.com, and that goes for any old week, not just this week. If you guys want to send in voice messages, we always love hearing from you. So feel free to do that. All right, so that's the Patreon update for that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I hate to interrupt you. Actually, no, I want to interrupt you. I got to call you out on something.
Okay.
You really just kind of raven shadowed at the beginning of this. You went speaking
man.
of Patreon, even though no one was speaking of Patreon.
Oh, well, you know what's funny? I was speaking of Patreon in my head. So.
In your head, yeah. See, you totally raven shadowed that.
Oh my! All right, guys, it's done. The show's over. That's it.
That's what I do.
That's it. We're done. First MZ leaves. Now I'm acting like Raven Shadow. It's done. It's done. We're over. Everyone say goodbye. This is it. Raven Dirt, you douchebags. That's the end. We're done. You're excited, Raven Shadow?
No, but like be like me.
No.
No, don't. No.
That's the worst thing anyone could do.
This is the opposite of be like Mike. No, don't be like Mike.
Oh, man. So, not speaking of Patreon, since nobody was speaking about it earlier, if you guys do want to support the show, that is the best way to do so. You can go to patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And Raven Shadow, did you see who the latest person to up his support was to get to the highest tier of Terminator?
Man, it was James Cameron.
No,
It's
it
fucking.
was Robert Rodriguez.
It was Robert Rodriguez. Maybe Rebel. No. I was very excited. Don't tell me. I got a fucking private message from my boy, fucking Linus from across the pond.
Yeah, Linus is our latest in the Terminator tier. So big ups to Linus. That means Linus is getting a Patreon takeover sometime this year, Raven Shadow.
Dude, I'm calling in. I'm using my earn time. I'm taking that day off because we're getting fucking toe up.
Coming live from Wales.
Oh man, all day.
Do you know where Wales is?
Yeah, it's over there.
Over there.
Over across the pond, like in England,
Okay.
or
Yep.
Great Britain. I'm not sure. It's either one of those two places. Oh, the United Kingdom.
Yes.
It's a lot of
It's all
fucking
different groupings of area.
Yeah.
Europe.
It's part of Europe. Yes, you're right about that.
Yeah.
Those looks like those history and geography lessons are paying off, Raven Shadow.
Yeah, no, I took a class.
Well, now
86.
you have a little class since you had none before. So
True, yeah, no, I can't fucking wait, bro. Can't wait to fuck.
yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So huge thanks to Linus for the extra added support. We appreciate it, my friend, and cannot wait to have you as on the Patreon takeover. We do have a few to get to ahead of Linus, but Linus, I will reach out to you, give you like a month or a few weeks notice, because I know he's like, I think 5 hours ahead of us, if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to be, it might be rough for him starting at like 1 a.m.
It's fine. He's good. He can.
So we'll figure something out. But yeah, looking forward to that. So thanks, Linus. We appreciate the support, my friend, and all of our patron supporters. We appreciate you guys. All right. The other ways you can help support the show, head to trickortreatradio.com. Scroll down, look for the Amazon logo, click it. It's going to bring you to Amazon. It's going to input our affiliate link. You get some gift cards burning a hole in your wallet. You want to use them, go ahead and use our link, and we get a little cut. Doesn't cost any extra, Raven Shadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
That's right. So you can help keep the lights on, and who knows? I don't know if we're going to do some new stuff now that MZ's no longer with us. But having that extra, the extra funds in the coffers is always a good thing, and it helps to pay for all the monthly fees and everything like that. I actually this week I was trying to lower some of my bills this week, and I realized that because I had internet and TV through Xfinity, Comcast Xfinity. And I only got the TV because they're like, oh, it's a package deal. It's actually cheaper if you get the TV. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to watch TV. Like I use streaming services and whatnot. I don't need it. So like, yeah, but it'll be cheaper. And so I was like, okay, whatever. So I just went with it. And then I was trying to find out, and I realized I could save like a few bucks if I got rid of the cable box, because I literally have never turned it on. I had it like over 2 years, and I've never turned it on. So brought that back, and I'm only saving like $10. I guess the TV package comes with the internet, but I realize how expensive my internet is now because I thought I was getting like TV and internet, and it's like $130 just for internet I have the gigabit because I need the fastest for doing the show. I want to make sure that I have good internet. So so long story short, the internet is more expensive than I initially thought. So that alone, the Patreon helps to pay for the added boost that we need for the for the gigabit internet and all the other things. We need to pay for software, for subscriptions and streaming services and equipment and all that. So I won't give you guys the whole rundown, but that's that. And also on trickortreatradio.com, we have the store. You guys can click on the store and you can buy some digital goods. If you guys miss hearing MZ on the show, he's featured all throughout the greatest hits, volumes 1 through 3. So give those a listen, and you can check them out for, I think they're $3 a pop, and you get about 90 minutes worth of material. And it's basically a time capsule of the last 9.5 years, or I guess the first 7.5 years, because we haven't done a greatest hits in a couple years now. So it's like somewhere around the first 7-ish years we made 3 greatest hits, and they include a little bit of everything. So if you guys are missing MZ and you want to hear some of the old stuff that maybe you might not have heard, give that a look, and you can check that out. All right. So we have a movie to talk about, and that movie is Red 11. Raven Shadow, what do you do to prepare for a $7,000 movie from Robert Rodriguez?
Oh, well, John, it might be January as of this recording, and we're facing a nor'easter in New England coming up tomorrow. But, all I can do is start thinking about the spring and Art Bradish and getting some chili dogs and put my sweatpants on, and maybe I'll watch some Transformers the movie, and maybe think about Boglins. And I just miss Monster Zero. I mean, I'm over it now, but with that said, you better believe, talking about Double R, strapped on.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk. Their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips. The beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk. Their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips. The beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
Thank you guys for having me on. It's a blast. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much.
And, Trick or Treat Radio, man. That's where it's at. That's the new Fangoria Radio is Trick or Treat Radio.
Don't say that.
That's like, you really put us under.
It's like swearing in church.
You just jinxed us.
Yeah. you put a lot on our shoulders just now.
Well, we can strive for greatness.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah,
you really are. You got a great show.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
I could be standing outside a woman's prison in a fistful of 50s and a bouquet of dildos, and no woman would come near me.
Did you say a bouquet of dildos?
All right, we are back on Trick or Treat Radio. And we are going to talk about Red 11. Let me pull up some info about this one. All right, Red 11. Now, this film initially started playing in festivals in 2019. And just got a release on VOD in 2021, though. And it's interesting, the IMDb says it's an hour and 17 minutes, but the one we watched was an hour 25.
I think part of that was his talking before.
That was only about 2 minutes, though, I think. So maybe they added a few other things in, or, I don't know. But and sometimes IMDb isn't always right, so that is also conceivable. So, and as I mentioned, the film is directed... Well, it's actually a horror sci-fi thriller directed by Robert Rodriguez, and it's written by Racer Rodriguez and Robert Rodriguez. And the film stars Robbie Etal, Lauren Hatfield, Carlos Gallardo, Pierce Bailey, Steve Brudniak, Nathan Cruz, Jasmine De La Rosa, Iman Isfandi, let's see, Harold Fish, Michael Fisher, and looking for it's funny, they're not even listed in the top cast, but the guy who played Score was Alejandro Rose Garcia, and yeah, it's funny, he's not even listed here, but Rebel Rodriguez was in this, and so was Racer Rodriguez. It's funny that they're not listed in the main credits, though. I don't understand why that's the case. But anyways, also the music was performed by Rebel Rodriguez. Cinematography, editing, all done by Robert Rodriguez, as well as the directing. And so it's basically a family affair. Sound and special effects were by Racer. Stunts by Racer. So is just like on El Mariachi, where Robert Rodriguez did almost everything. This is kind of a family affair. So we have Robert, Revel, and Racer carrying most of the load, if you will. So, the synopsis for this one: based on the research hospital where Robert Rodriguez sold his body to pay for El Mariachi, Red 11 is the shirt color and number he was assigned. So this, in a sense, is, I guess you could call it a meta movie, because this is based on true events. So I think it's interesting that Robert Rodriguez wanted to revisit his roots and to make a film for less than $7,000. And in doing so, he told the tale of how he came up with the $7,000 to make El Mariachi and turn that into, kind of fictionalized it, but turned it into to a film. So, Raven Shadow, have you read Rebel Without a Crew yet? I know you have it there. Have you read it?
I have it. Yeah, it's been years.
Okay. Do you remember? So I vaguely remember some aspects of it because it's literally been over 20 years since I read it. But do you know if the cartel stuff was like actually part of that? Does that ring a bell to you?
I don't remember. I remember the brownies that he had eaten.
Yeah.
Even kind of skimming through it, like this. Once again, this is the book that got passed down from Tron to Wolfie to me. I'm actually looking to reread it again.
Yeah. So I don't know if anyone listening has read it more recently than us and wants to comment, feel free. But obviously there was some fictionalization in this as well. It wasn't, it's not a straight up. I think really the things that were nonfiction were, that he wore a red shirt, that he was Red 11, and that he went and did a medical study to make $7,000 to make a movie. So, beyond that, I'm not sure what's factor fiction, So, but I think it's kind of a cool idea, like if you're gonna go and revisit this, the early days of your career, and I feel it's a great way to kind of do it and tell kind of that story, and turn it into a film. So, based on the premise, what did you guys think? Was it a little bit too tongue in cheek, or did you guys dig the premise?
I mean, for me, I thought, has there ever been a director that's gone that far back to their roots, like to do a movie with their, current success or whatever you want to call it, but to make a movie the same way, but the same budget that
Right.
they did before. I mean, we've seen a lot of directors go back to the well again. And that's not necessarily a dig. It's not even a dig at all. But we've seen, Kevin Smith go back to the well,
Right.
Several times.
But his budgets always were like, bigger and bigger, right? For the most part.
And then smaller and smaller.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I guess I was talking about yeah.
Yeah, he didn't make Clerks 2 with the same budget of Clerks, the original Clerks,
Right.
not remotely.
Yeah.
I mean, his budgets have gone up and down based on what he can afford because he finances his own movies. So in a way, he's doing a similar thing to Robert Rodriguez, where he doesn't want the studios controlling what he's doing,
Yeah.
but he's not stripping it down to the level that Robert Rodriguez did.
And what a great way to show if his kids are going to get involved in the family business, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well, so this is the dollar amount that I had, before he was fucking 23 when he made fucking El Mariachi.
Yeah.
We were at Denny's.
Yeah, 23. We were hanging out at Denny's, and he was making El Mariachi. Yeah, exactly.
Doing NCW with a long extension cord, and Matt's from Discovery Zone. But Rodriguez with the same dollar amount and doing that DUI, no, not DUI, DYI,
DIY.
DIY.
Not DUI.
No, I do a lot of DUI movies. I always say that wrong. Can get weird. Yeah, I'm doing it very DUI style. Well,
Yeah.
motherfucker, you driving then, kid? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
what are you doing driving then?
You're sitting in the back like Aries the drive-in.
Oh man. So, how about you, Aries? In terms of the story, was it a little too tongue in cheek? Was it it worked for you?
I thought it was right on point for what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
It did explain to me a lot of how much sound mixing costs, because apparently that's the oh my god, I can't talk. biggest expense of movies, because oh my god, there's no sound mixing in this. I don't know how much money he saved by not mixing sound, but yeah, he didn't mix a lick of it.
I didn't really notice that, but I don't know. Like, I guess, did you watch it with headphones, or did you just watch it out of your device?
No, headphones.
Okay, so you probably might have heard it better than I did then, because I watched it on TV. So,
I mean, granted, I mean, a lot of it was supposed to be over the top, but it was just a flat level.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so I mean the basic premise, as we mentioned, is it pretty much starts out right away with his buddy dropping him off at the clinic to do this, test, where he's a subject, and they kind of like tell everyone about it, and they're like, okay, yeah, like you have to sign away your life basically, this could end up in death, like all these things, and then there's I think they brought in 13 people and there's 12 spots, and they're not everyone's going to make it into the test, and they basically say that we're going to remove parts of your skin and we're going to injure you and see if you heal. You'll be testing a new drug that has like quick healing or something like that, right?
I mean, is it me, or did this start off fucking downright treacherous? And I'm like, where fucking going with this? Like, and they're like, and even like, yep, lab rats, come on in.
Yeah.
Like there was no mistaking, and the whole point was, I forget the name. Who's Red 11's real name? Did they even say his real name?
Yeah, Rob.
That's funny.
For Robert Rodriguez, because that was him.
Yeah. He's going in to pay off a debt, his share of the debt.
Yeah, they owe a cartel for borrowing money to make a movie that fell through.
Which, not for nothing, folks, I'm not very smart. Don't borrow money from the cartel.
They might not have known.
If you're desperate.
Yeah, that's true. And if if you believe in your talent, and you believe that it could happen, like you probably aren't worried about that, right? Especially as a young dumb kid. Someone's like, oh, yeah, I'll give you $7,000 to make a movie. You don't really think of the ramifications of that, right?
That's fair, but still.
And they also didn't realize the interest that would be tacked onto it.
Right. Yeah. A massive amount of interest. That's like Raven Shadow when you were younger and Aries gave you a cigarette. It was like, yeah, you should smoke this. It's fun. You didn't think twice about it, did you?
Yeah, no, I was like, what could possibly go wrong?
I just want to go on the record. I've never said those words.
He never did. He
never said those words.
Well, you probably looked pretty cool smoking when you showed it to him. So
I never looked cool. I'm still striving to be cool and never been cool.
I remember leaving Broken Arrow in theaters, and I could borrow a cigarette, and I was trying to smoke like fucking John Travolta did in that movie.
And you lit the wrong end of it. And
one time. But yeah, so basically Rob has a certain dollar amount he has to pay off, and his buddy has to go be on the outside and pay off another dollar amount.
Right, a significantly larger one. 45,000, I think, and Red 11 had to he had to pay off $7,000. So, and that's exactly what it was. So basically, he's doing this just to get the money that he owes the cartel to pay them back. It's his portion, so to speak, because his buddy said that he would take care of the rest. So his portion was the $7,000. He's going to do this, this be a lab rat basically, and be a test subject for this place. So, he gets there, and yeah, I thought that, right away they kind of get right into the action and get right into it, and they give kind of like the rules, the lay of the land. The red shirts, stick together, blue shirts, yellow shirts. There's magenta that shows up later, violet, I think. I think that might be it. And they give them the rules, and they say that if you have to eat all your food within 20 minutes. You have to eat every single bit of it. If you don't, or if you do something wrong, you'll get docked. And you can they'll basically knock off pay. So for every, infraction, you get like $20 knocked off or whatever. So if you keep it up, eventually you're not going to have much money left. So basically just to kind of get you to follow the rules. You can't be overly stimulated. So they have to, there's no sex with each other, themselves, nothing to get, they need to keep a baseline. They can't get too overly stimulated or excited. And, some of them are on different diets than others. Some are on low protein or low carb or whatever. And they're also being given, it's a double blind, test, and they're also given medication. And so some are placebo, some are not, and no one knows who's placebo and who's not. So that's kind of the setup. They give them kind of the lay of the land. I thought that was kind of a cool little way of doing it. And then they had the other character who had been doing this many times, and he kept asking all these questions. And he, at first he kind of seemed like he was, kind of annoying, just kept asking all these questions. But I actually thought that was a good kind of proxy for the audience of giving some more info. So I thought it was pretty smart.
Agreed. And he would be able to be like, oh, hey, so, where are the girls? I know we had girls before. Where are the new girls and stuff? Right. And so on one hand, after that very ominous speech by the first, healthcare provider.
Doctor,
Doctor, you're going to get fucking tuned up. We'll put you back together again, but you may have scarring and you may have this and that.
Yeah,
so I'm I'm thinking some fucking Saw, fucking torture porn shit.
I wasn't sure either. I thought we might have been going somewhere there too.
Right? And it was actually be a really good premise for one of those type of pictures. What are they going to fucking cut off people? I just want to watch Desperado.
They just use.
Well, I thought it was clear that it was just going to be scarring on the arms, right from the get-go.
But that's how they get you, Aries. And they cut your arm off, and they fucking nip and tuck things. And
that's the risk you run with anything when you trust someone.
Thank you.
But they were just telling you that they were going to be cutting your arm.
Yeah. Funny and stuff. But I think I agree with that with Wolfie, where that character was more of the audience. Like, hey, she'd be all right. It's my third time. I'm a lifer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was definitely there to help the audience along. Yes, because he asked the question, and what is with that guy? And points to the guy in the black shirt that was. We didn't even notice until he asked that question.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, we get this, the lay of the land. He's kind of and I think it's a good way of showing off kind of the interior of the hospital. And I think one of the other great things about a plot like this is all of it takes place inside the hospital for the most part, aside from a few things here and there. So I think that also really lends itself to the budget, because you're not going all over the place and shooting and, on location and all these other places. And I think it was actually filmed in, I think Rodriguez has his own compound. I don't know what you want to call it, but for instance, that office, the doctor's office with all the movie props, that was Rodriguez's, that was his office. That was his actual office. So, some little things like that. So I think it was, just filmed with what they had available to them. And I think I also read that I think they might have shot some stuff on the set of Alita Battle Angel, like in between stuff. I kind of figured the stuff that they filmed outside, like when somebody left one of the like through like one of the back doors, and that's when you see like the black shirt guy. I thought that stuff might have been, because it looked like it was almost like behind a set. So I wondered if that was sort of what they had done there. But I mean, he used what he had available to him, and I think it, I think it worked. I mean, it looked. I think it was smart when you're making a film for $7,000. You have to be cognizant of all of that stuff. You have to know, like, okay, like, we're going to shoot this. We need very few locations. We need to have all this stuff taken care of so we can really keep the budget down. And so I think they really kind of nailed that with what they were doing. So yeah, and then from there we see more about these studies that they're doing. They have like a biopsy gun. That's how they like take away parts of their like skin. And then what about oh shit, what was that woman's name? The one who couldn't hit a fucking vein.
Vampira.
Vampira. Yeah.
Yeah.
That that one. Yeah, you're thinking of that one scene where she does it to Red 11, right?
It was the second one.
Yeah. Oh god.
Where she's playing a video game like a joystick and just every which way.
Oh my fuck.
That was kind of horrifying. So there's a character named Vampira, or that's what they call her, because she's horrible at getting the needle into the vein. So she makes everyone bleed so much that they start calling her Vampira. But yeah, there's a scene in it when she's giving Red 11, she's trying to stick a needle in his arm, and she like and they talk about how big his like veins are. And it should be easy, right? And she sticks it like in the wrong spot, and then is like Raven Chow said, moving around like a joystick, like trying. Oh god!
Like if I've given blood a couple times, and you guys have seen my arms. I have great fucking veins. You could give directions on because it's so fucking, you can see through my skin. It's like a road map. But she jabs it like fucking.
Oh god!
In Pulp Fiction, and there's no sterilization.
No.
No sterilization.
It's pretty rough. That was a tough watch, actually. Like I don't really get like weirded out by needle stuff or anything really, but that was a pretty tough watch.
Not a good phlebotomist.
And so one of the things they learned is the blue shirts in this. So Red 11, that's his number. He's wearing a red shirt, and he's the 11th one in line. So we're going to refer to him as Red 11. His name is Rob, but he kind of like is he sees the blue shirts, like a couple of the blue shirts end up vomiting like really horribly, and like basically like puking their guts out almost, right? Like there's like chunks coming out. It's fucking gross. And he sees this, and he's like, okay, well, he finds out that the blue shirts who do this, what happens is they end up getting taken to the hospital. And if you get taken to the hospital because you're so sick or injured that you'll be excused from the study and you'll get your full pay. So at this point, Red 11 finds out that the cartel is going to be waiting for him. They're basically picking him up when he's done with the study to collect the $7,000 check. And then he finds out that his friend is no longer around, and he is on the hook for the whole amount. Was it like $52,000 or something like that? So he's on the hook for the whole thing, and he only is going to have the $7,000 from this study that he's doing. So he's trying to find a way to get out of the test early with the money, and he wants to like basically get away and like run to Mexico or something. So his idea is these other folks are, like puking up chunks, and they're getting sent to the hospital conceivably, and then getting their full pay. So he wants to try to do that and get out early with the full pay, and do it so that the cartel doesn't know that he's already gone, basically. So that's his plan. He's going to go with it. And so he finds there's one guy with the blue shirt. What was his name? The knife guy. Do you guys remember what his name was?
It was it Knives or like
something like that? I think it was Knives.
Yeah, it was.
Or yeah, he loved his little blade he made.
Yeah, he was very into it and talked a lot about his blade.
Like, you hear that sound? It's the sound of cutting air. When the blade is pulled out, it must taste blood, almost like Paul the Samurai from the old Tick comics. Remember that?
I was thinking that when he did that.
Yeah. And Paul the Samurai would always have Band-Aids.
Band-Aid, yeah, just stare at his hand with Band-Aids on it. Yeah.
And he would keep his sword in a fucking like a French loaf.
Yeah.
That's how he hide it. Paul the Samurai.
Oh man, that's funny.
But he was a handsome dude. And you find out at the end who he is. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that was Rebel.
Yeah.
Rebel Rodriguez, which it's really funny. Like I've looked at the cast on a few different sites, and they're not listed as like part of the cast, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, they're not in it at all. I'm trying to find the goddamn name.
Yeah, it was in the credits of the movie, but like looking on like Wikipedia, I'm looking on like IMDb, looking on Rotten Tomatoes, they're just not listed as part of the cast. But yeah, that was Rebel, who played the knife guy, and he's the one that did the music for the movie. I think he also did this the effects as well.
And they almost kind of broken down, almost like a Hogwarts type Power Ranger, Cobra Kai kind of thing. So you had different colored T-shirts, like the yellow guys were more of like the acid, electric acid test type group.
Yeah.
The teal shirts were more of like the jocks, and there was even like a very much a Jim Smith alpha dude that reminded me of their kind of leader. Even though Jim Smith is not like this guy at all.
No,
but he kind of looked
similar
like
look though, I guess in a way, like
handsome blonde dude.
Yeah.
But he was like the heel of the team, and they were kind of the teal group was kind of feuding with the red squadron.
Yeah, well, they broke down the cliques at one point, and it definitely was very high school-esque. And the teal group was, I think they were listed as high protein with their diet.
Right.
Which would be very jockish.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't actually think of that. Yep.
Right. And the red group could have meat. They could have, burgers and things like that.
They seem to be more of the median, like normal, not high protein, but not, vegetarian. They were just like the average. Like they just seem to be like the I can't think of the word I want to use. The
baseline.
The what?
Baseline?
Baseline. The baseline group, yes.
One of the other characters I loved in this was Score. Is that who you're thinking, Raven Shadow?
Yeah. I popped Score a lot.
This is such a meta thing that I normally would be like, this is a bit too contrived, but for whatever reason, it fucking worked in this. So there's a character named Score who carried around an iPad with like a music app on it, and he was providing the score to the movie, like real time. So he would be like, "Ooh, this scene calls for, like drama or tension or whatever," and it's just like it's something I probably would have like hated in most films, but it fucking worked in this, and I love that character.
It shouldn't have worked, but goddamn, it fucking did. When they're running away, it was almost like a fucking Cloverfield or those movies. Like, why are you still filming when you're being attacked by aliens?
Yeah.
Why are you still playing keyboard when you're fucking being chased by whatever the fuck? I just fucking lost it.
Because it never was, he just pressed it and it played. He had always had to hold it.
Yeah.
If he didn't hold the note, it disappeared. So as they're running, you see him holding the note as he's holding the iPad.
Yeah. It's pretty outrageous. But he was played by Alejandro Rose Garcia, and in looking him up, he's a musician known as Shaky Graves, out of Austin, Texas, which isn't surprising. That's where Rodriguez is based. And apparently his music combines blues, folk, country, and rock. I'm actually kind of interested in checking out some of his music. I dug that character.
I like that name, Shaky Graves. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, it's good. Let's see if we can find some of his music. Let's see if we can play some.
But he was so good, and I liked the fact that I liked the interactions with the inmates. I mean, the rec room brought forth some remarkably interesting scenes, especially with evil teal jock guy and the yellow shirt guy who was watching movies that came out 10 years previously.
Oh my God,
come on with the spoilers. It's like, give me a fucking break.
That was actually pretty fucking hilarious too. The spoiler guy, he was like spoiling all these movies. Like, oh, what are you watching? Crying? He's like, oh, you watching Crying Game? He's like, yeah. He's like, oh,
shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah,
shut your fucking mouth.
She's got a penis. The guy got so pissed. Is that when he fucking beat him up? He beat his ass.
Oh,
I think that was the scene where he beat his ass.
I think that was the turning point. Yeah.
Yeah. But he was watching some other movie. I can't remember what the other one was. He's like, I'm gonna spoil all of them. He's like, Bruce Willis. He was a ghost. Like he just
dead. Yeah.
Yeah. He just kept like spoiling all these fucking movies. It was like you've seen like bits and pieces of this in movies, but it's also that thing on like social media where you get pissed about the person spoiling the movie. Like you don't want it. I just thought that was like such a great like almost cathartic scene where he's fucking destroying this jock who is just like boasting about all these spoilers, and I just thought that was pretty fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of thought that was like done deliberately. Like, we can only spoil movies that are 10 plus years old, so people get the joke, but no one's gonna really be pissed off that you spoiled the Crying Game, because either you watched it or you didn't. No one cares at this point if you didn't see it.
Right.
Let's spoil old movies. People will understand what we're doing, but we're not ruining, a movie that's 2 years old or something.
Right.
On one, I was kind of impressed that the teal jock dude watched all those movies. I'm like, really? That's interesting.
I know, right?
But yeah, like it was, but also that was not for naught.
Not for naught.
There was some. I think even that was important too. Some of that dialogue was pretty important.
Are you talking about the spoiler scene?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we got actually. So let me go back to Score, the character of Score, the musician Shaky Graves. So just play a little bit of his music. I'm kind of curious. I've never heard it. So here's the name of this track is "Roll the Bones." So let's let it play out for a few seconds.
Sweet air,
Yeah, sounds pretty cool, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to explore that further.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool video, too, for it. So if people want to check it out, you can look up Shaky Graves. That's Shakey. Shaky Graves, Roll the Bones. So he's actually got a really fucking cool website, too. It's shakygraves.com. So there you go. Shout out to Shaky Graves and the character of Score. I thought that character was just great. Like, I could see that just not working in other movies, but for some reason it just worked for me in this. So I dug that a lot. I don't want to get too much into more of the story because there is a kind of I don't know, like a bit of, I wouldn't say a mystery, but there is some twists and turns that this takes that you might not necessarily see coming. So I'll kind of leave that. But in terms of this film, like, so $7,000. Did this feel like a $7,000 film to you guys?
No.
Aries?
Kind of.
So it definitely felt like a low budget film to me. Like, no doubt about that. If I was asked, I would probably say this film was made for under $1 million. But the other thing to keep in mind, and not to say that this wasn't made, like, I'm not disputing the $7,000 thing, but Robert Rodriguez also has a lot at his disposal that other people might not. So I don't know, did he have his own camera equipment that he didn't need to rent or borrow, like those sorts of things. And, in doing it in digital, you can also do it a little bit differently now than you could in the past, because I'm pretty definitely El Mariachi was made with film. So if I'm not mistaken, I remember seeing stories about him like running out of film or something along those lines. So, that's a huge expense. Doing film as opposed to digital, because really you're just at the mercy of your hard drive. As long as you have enough space, you can do whatever the fuck you want, take as many takes as you want, and you don't have to worry about that. But with film, it's very expensive, and you have to get the shots right, in as few takes as possible.
Now, I'm forgive me for trying to split hairs, but it would be for my own clarification. You say film; it was actually film and not tape.
You're talking about El Mariachi?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like video.
I'm pretty sure it was 35 millimeter
film. Okay. I'm just because.
Let me just look it up though.
Yeah, I mean, cost-wise, it would be a big difference.
Absolutely, yeah. So let's see here. Yeah, okay, 16 millimeter. So it wasn't 35 millimeter, but it was 16. So it is a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
But still, like 16 millimeter is, it's still not cheap to get film.
No, and still, even the difference between film and tape, you can tape over tape if you need to.
Yeah.
Film one shot and you're done. If you spoiled that's trash.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's funny. I just I'm getting hot in here, and I realize I'm wearing a red shirt.
Oh.
Am I red 11? But so this this was probably filmed. Well, I can almost guarantee you this was filmed digitally, and so Robert Rodriguez might have had some camera equipment, some, that's the thing. I would love to see the behind the scenes of this, because in the beginning, in his little intro, he shows like some stuff from the making of, and you can see like there's one scene where he's in a wheelchair and somebody's wheeling him, as he's holding the camera. So I don't think they use really any fancy equipment. I think he really tried to keep it toned down in terms of what they used and at their disposal. So I think in terms of that, I think he did use mostly equipment that anyone could use. So that's actually kind of, is kind of a cool thing that he did. So, but yeah, we'd have to really see the behind the scenes to get the full story behind that.
Yeah, but those definitely did seem like digital cameras that they were using for those quick little shots.
Yep. And yeah, so it is kind of curious to see what he had at his disposal, because if it was just a random fucking person, like a 23-year-old kid, like he was when he made El Mariachi, what would they, like $7,000 might not go quite as far as it does with Robert Rodriguez now, 25 years after. So,
yeah, because yeah, it is impressive to make this movie with that low budget, regardless of whether you're a no one or you're Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
But if Robert Rodriguez walks up to you and goes, "Hey, I'm making this movie, but I'm not spending a lot of money. You want to be in it?" Like, you could get like any number of huge actors to get into this movie. So even though these are no-name actors, he had his choice of no-name actors to have in this movie. So,
right.
like, if I'm making a movie, I gotta choose from my fucking friends. Like, my friends are the only ones that are gonna sacrifice their time. But Robert Rodriguez, I never met the guy. I donate my time to be in his movie. Like,
oh yeah.
that once you're a name, people are more willing to sacrifice and give at little to no cost. So that plays into the budget of this movie. And you spoke of the office scene, which would have been an impressive, set on a movie, but it was his office.
Yeah.
Like a real movie, to make that set, that's a few $1,000s. But no, they just walk into his office and they have ready-made film props.
Yeah.
I mean, even there's one little shot that like caught my eye. Someone flipping through the channels, like scrolling through movie channels.
Watching
They
his
showed
movies.
they showed a bunch of movies. They were all his movies, so they didn't cost a dime.
Right.
If I was to do that and wanted to show random movies, I'd have to pay each movie that I wanted to show. I mean, it's little things that they can save money on that add to the atmosphere of this movie. Now, that's not, I'm splitting hairs with this, but I mean, it's little things that add to what make this movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing that I think he's showing that it's possible with the equipment and with the makeup and stuff like that. Like, but yeah, there is an extra added element of production value associated when your name is Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, if his son, his sons are involved, they're probably not getting paid for the score. You're not paying Robert Rodriguez to do this movie. He's choosing to do it. Almost even like the dollar amount for like Manborg, where a lot of those Astron 6 guys probably did that out of their own pocket, because they did their own special effects. Like, and that movie looks like $1 million, even though it was, for its time. But Red 11 looks fantastic. Now, do you have Robert Rodriguez 20+ year career of knowing what works, what doesn't work, as opposed to somebody who truly is 23 years old, that he knows the missteps that you're going to make in a picture.
Yeah, exactly.
He knows when someone says, "Oh, I'll be there," they're not going to fucking be there. You know what I mean? He knows some of the pitfalls to avoid.
Yeah. It is interesting. So, we talked about how this film cost $7,000, and his previous film before this was Alita Battle Angel, which was produced by James Cameron and was a kind of like a mega budget sci-fi film. Apparently, a single second of that film cost $27,322. So 1 second of
wait. A second?
A second.
How many seconds in that movie?
A lot.
Yeah. I'll look up and see. It was probably about 2 hours is my guess, but let me see. The film was 2 hours, 2 minutes. So we'll do some math here, Raven Shadow. Do you know how to do math?
No.
Okay. I'll do it for you. So 60 minutes is an hour, right, Raven Shadow?
Yeah, so you say.
So the film itself was 122 minutes. And so if we divide that, Raven Shadow, by how many?
2.
2?
I guessed. I mean, I don't know. I just shot in
Holy
the dark.
shit. Oh,
Was
my
Matt
fuck.
Monster Zero, pick up.
Barking up the wrong tree with that one.
Yeah, no shit.
Wait, how many dollars a second? That's not fucking
Did you say it's not possible?
thousands of dollars a second.
Yes.
It's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
So they probably use like gift cards for craft services, right? Like, oh, here's some Dunkin' Donuts cards. There you go.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Craft Services was just a series of gift cards.
Yeah.
You're on your own. Here's the Dunkin' Donuts. Here's the Cheesecake Factory. Here's Olive Garden. Have at it.
Well, to be fair, Robert Rodriguez probably made fucking tacos for everybody because he does his fucking cooking segments that are fucking brilliant.
All right, Raven Shadow. So it's 51,240 seconds.
I don't even know what that.
So what the movie cost total?
So we'll
No. I want Raven Shadow to do that
yeah,
math.
right.
A lot. A lot.
That can't be right.
Thank you. Right?
It
It's
says
stupid.
it's $1 trillion. 1 trillion, 1.3
Right.
trillion. No, that's not right.
A little bit. Right. Thank you, John.
I'm
See,
sorry.
so-
I'm sorry. Billion, not trillion. I was added another comma, but yeah, there's no way it costs that much.
So
Yeah, no.
the figure they give with the 1 second, it must be like action sequences.
Let me see what the budget was, just so we can find out. It was okay. So $170 million budget for Alita: Battle Angel. So I'm not going to do any more math, but 170 million versus 7,000. It's a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, 7,000 was close to Ollie's surgery over the summer.
So you can make a movie, or you can pay for surgery. Apparently, right?
I'll save my dog. But yeah, no.
So get rid of the dog and make a movie.
Oh my god!
You know,
Then you can buy a lot of dogs.
Oh my god!
no, I get $7,000 right now. I want to make a fucking movie. I can do that. That's my fucking cushion for when something else happens.
Oh, I don't want to see what your movie would be like. It'd be like Bat Pussy.
Couple of guys at a bar. I have a bar. I can use what I have.
Bar Pussy.
Yeah, you got a bar downstairs. You probably already have cameras set up in the bedroom.
Oh god.
Yeah. Why don't you come over?
Jesus Christ. It'd be being a third wheel to driving is enough, I think.
Yeah.
I apparently that gave me an idea for a new movie. I don't want to be in that movie.
All right, I'm writing a prequel.
Aries, can you take my door off again?
Put it back on.
So you can see inside from the other room.
Weird, man. That's weird. Yep. That'd be $8,000.
Yeah, that's at least 8,000. Yeah, but I think that yeah, I mean, this movie did not look like it was made for $7,000. That's for sure. I would say under $1 million, potentially. Was it low budget? Yeah, sure, but and you could tell that the way that they shot it, they didn't use professional equipment. Because there's some shots that are really shaky. Like he had sort of like a more remedial way of filming it, I guess I'd say. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean that I think he utilized less equipment than he would for like one of his bigger movies. So I think he probably did use that whole wheelchair technique when he was like zooming in on something. Someone to push his wheelchair while he's holding the camera. And, obviously he's a very experienced director, so he probably knows exactly which shots he wants and things like that. So in terms of getting the right shot, it probably didn't take him a lot of, takes to get what he wanted. He probably was able to nail it. But yeah, I mean, and I think that overall this has kind of like a grainy look to it. Like I feel like it looks a bit like an older film. And I mean that in a good way. Like I think it had like character to it. And I loved a lot of the lighting stuff. Like, there's some cool stuff when they're in the other part of the hospital. When there's some really cool lighting stuff. Like, there's like a blue light in one scene. There's like a red light. It's almost like they use a lot of the different lights from the shirt colors, that I noticed. And especially one scene kind of towards the end, they're in this dark room with like colored, like not sheets, but like colored like almost like clear transparent like drapes behind them or something. I don't know what exactly it was, but I like how they utilize a lot of the colors in this, and I just think overall it looked really good. And yeah, once again, it's Robert Rodriguez. He knows what the fuck he's doing, but using these methods, he's basically using the same equipment that, like someone who has $7,000 to make a movie would probably end up using. So it would be interesting to check out the complementary, like the documentary that goes with this that complements it. I think that'd be really cool to see, just to see the behind the scenes and see how it was made. And I think, honestly, I feel like this movie was made as like a proof of concept while making that kind of documentary series. I think that might end up having more value than the film in the long run, because people will watch that and kind of see what he did and see some of the tricks that he used. So, I think that ultimately, yeah, I think it was successful for what he did. And is it up to the standard of some of his other films? No. Like, I think that even the writing in this, like, is not necessarily bad, but I feel like it was just kind of like, I think he just did it quick, like that's kind of what I was thinking, is that, like, I feel like he wouldn't have spent like months on the script. He probably wrote it, because I think he did write it with Racer. And so I don't know who, had the bigger portion of the writing, but, it did seem like it was maybe not quite as polished as dialogue in some of his other films. So I wonder if it was literally like a first draft or something like that. Did you guys have any thoughts on the writing or the script of it?
It definitely seemed like it was written on the go.
Yeah, and that could have been too. Yeah, could have just been that they came up with a concept and decided to kind of run with it, and
and figured out what the characters would say as they went.
Yeah,
maybe some improv going on and fine tuning as things would happen.
And I'm sure we would see that in the behind the scenes thing.
Mm-hmm. But I think you're onto something with that whole behind the scenes thing. That it didn't cross my mind until you said it, that this almost seems like they wanted to film a behind the scenes, so they need to come up with a movie.
Yeah.
To make the behind the scenes.
Yeah, it could have been. What were you gonna say, Raven Shadow?
Well, that was kind of my takeaway too, because it was a show. Was this on Sci-Fi or on El Rey? The show.
It wasn't on either of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's basically a companion piece to the movie. I think you can buy it on iTunes. I think maybe you can buy it on YouTube. I don't know, but it's basically right now it's just for sale. It's like a, kind of a companion piece to this.
Okay. But then again, I think if you establish this is our budget, this is what we're gonna do. What's a story that we can do? And you kind of, all right, well, what if we're in an asylum? Or what if we're in a medical facility? And then what's kind of the hook? What's the punchline? I mean, it's you tailor it to your assignment sometimes, and that's where your story comes from. This might not be a passion project like El Mariachi, or a bigger budget version of El Mariachi, Desperado, or whatever you want to call it. But for its assignment, I think it succeeds for what they were trying to achieve.
Yeah.
It ain't Casablanca, right? It ain't Lord of the Rings. And it's not trying to be.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Yeah. It knows what it is, and it does what it's supposed to do. And I feel like that's why the tongue-in-cheek aspect of this, the kind of meta tongue-in-cheek aspect, works even better, because it understands what it is. If the character of Score was in, like, I don't know, like a let's say like a movie like Malignant, or I guess Malignant was a little campy at times, but just like, or like the Boy Behind the Door. Like if there was a character named Score in that, it would have been ridiculous, right? So I think it understands what it is, and having this sort of meta aspect to it, in a sense, kind of works, because not only is it's a story about how he got money to make El Mariachi. So in a sense, it's a fictionalized biographical story about Robert Rodriguez, and so he can, that kind of gives him the right to explore that however he wants to. So yeah, I think that it was tongue in cheek enough, and there was some interesting aspects of it like that I think really worked. And it is. I'm not gonna. I don't think I'll necessarily say it's a high concept movie, but there is some deeper stuff going on here than what it might seem, right? Like there's more to it. So
I love the relationship between Red 11 and Magenta.
Yeah, me too.
Very much so. Let's trade shirts. I want a fucking burger.
Yeah.
I'll give you half. No, I want fucking all burger.
That scene was pretty fucking outstanding, I thought. Aries, would you have traded shirts with Magenta?
Anything. I would do anything to get a woman out of her shirt.
Wow. Anything, huh?
I got a pretty woman in front of me, yeah, and she wants to trade shirts. Yeah, I will do whatever you want me to do to get you out of that shirt.
Including eating broccoli?
Yeah, because if my alternative is to eat the hamburger that I'm not going to eat, yeah, you want that hamburger? Yeah.
Oh, man. Let me see what else I want to talk about with this. I think we're kind of reaching the apex here. I don't know if there's too much else to explore. I guess we'll touch on the ending without like giving anything away, but what did you guys think of the ending of this? Because it did, I'm not going to say it came out of left field, but the direction in which it went was a little surprising to me. I thought that, and that's kind of what I'm referring to as kind of more of a high concept sort of thing. And, there's something kind of potentially bigger going on than you might think at first glance. So with that, I thought that it was pulled off fairly well. It was, I think it maybe got a little muddied at the end, like thinking like they're trying to have like, there's trying to be a message here. And like, I think that was maybe muddied a little bit with what they were trying to do. But overall, I appreciate what they went for with it, and nothing about it sort of like annoyed me or made me upset.
As the story progressed and things that I was at the beginning, I was going, oh, come on. Like that were kind of like, that wouldn't happen, or, oh, that's very convenient. As the story came to an end, I was like, oh, okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
And it's just, it made more sense to me. So things that I was kind of like, oh, this is like a bad storytelling for a cheap movie. It's like, okay, no, this is decent storytelling just in a low budget movie.
Yeah. How about you, Red Shadow?
Oh, I fucking popped. I was fucking Def Comedy jamming the denouement of this film.
It wasn't really funny.
No. I mean, I was like, oh shit, they're fucking doing
but
that.
Def Comedy Jam means you're laughing.
No, it means I was having movement on my couch. Like I was like,
you're having a movement on your couch.
No, not having a movement.
Did you take the blue pills medicine? The blue pill stuff.
No, I don't take the brown pill. I'm not incontinent. I didn't have a.
You do realize that in Def Comedy Jam, when they all go, "Oh my God," they're all laughing, right?
No, they laugh, but it's the emotionality of it. I was like, "Oh, Snoop, they're doing this," and there's a certain phrase that
You're not going to convince us. It doesn't make sense.
it does make sense.
No, it doesn't.
By saying Def Comedy Jam, you imply you're laughing.
I was enthusiastic by the direction the film went.
Then you need to come up with a better thing than Def Comedy Jam.
Yeah.
By having comedy in what you're describing ruins it.
All right, Johnny, take it from the top. All right. To answer your question, Johnny, I was very enthusiastic by the ending of the picture. I like the direction they went. And I think we saw some old friends from some of Robert Rodriguez's other movies. Am I right in that?
I don't know. What are you talking about? what was that?
But I think I was me being excited. I fucking love Robert Rodriguez, dude.
Okay.
Was the cartel guy the bad guy from El Mariachi?
Let's see.
The blonde.
So
not
the guy who played the bad guy, the main cartel guy, he was El Mariachi. Yeah.
He was El Mariachi, but he was the bad guy in El Mariachi.
No, he was the main dude, like El Mariachi, the main dude.
Oh, he was actually El Mariachi?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, really.
What was that noise? Are you doubting him?
Yeah. You look blunt. No. El Mariachi was
it's
not
him.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Rob-
The whole fucking internet is lying right now to you.
To be fair, it wouldn't be the first time Rodriguez pick up. No, I thought that was the. All right, well, good for him. I thought it was the bad guy.
No, it's
The blonde-
it's the lead. It's El Mariachi.
Oh shit, he was in Desperado. Too.
Yes.
Also, not Desperado too.
Jesus Christ.
For him.
He's older now. He's older. He's got a beard. He puts on a little bit of weight. Jesus, like.
I know. I
that
like
shit
Harry,
happens.
but that's fine.
There you go. Look at. That's him.
Oh shit, he looks good.
Yeah. That whited out blur. You could make that out.
I did. That's what I can see. Of all the things I can't see, somehow I saw your fucking camera phone on my trash can computer laptop over here. I enjoyed the ending. I'm sorry. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I was enthusiastic.
Why are you sorry?
Because you're judging me. And I
No,
feel
I'm
that
judging. You said it was like Def Comedy Jam.
because of my
That would lead anybody in the world to
No.
think that you were laughing.
wasn't laughing. I was just like, oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah,
And
but by saying Def Comedy Jam, it implies humor.
You could just say it threw me for a loop.
I don't think I've ever said it threw me for a loop. Fine.
Well, maybe you should start.
All right, Bamboleo.
Be like, it was off the fucking chain. Oh my fucking god!
Yeah, it's
It
someone
was
else.
out of control.
Oh yeah, I was off the rails.
Jesus.
I was excited. I like. What the fuck, man? I was excited.
You miss MZ? Do you?
I do miss MZ. I do. Believe it or not, I do.
Because all this heat now is coming on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no. Mary said that. And I said no. I said fuck them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Guess what? She's right. It's all coming on you.
Yeah, we'll bring it. Fine.
Okay.
Who's the guy from the Crucible? More weight. Put that on me.
You know what character I really actually dug in this, so we didn't really talk a lot. We did talk about him a little bit. He was sort of like the audience proxy. Was Red 7, played by Iman Isfandi.
Yeah.
I thought he was like really charismatic and really fun in this.
He was great. One of the best lines. I love when they're running amok and he's like, "Yo, we should get you a red T-shirt." And I was like, "Woo! He's part of the team."
Oh, the knife guy.
Yeah. I don't want to give it away.
All right, so I think we could probably head to the verdict on this one and find out what we thought about Red 11.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, verdict time. We're going to let you know where this movie is a trick or a treat. And I'm going to fucking mix up the order because I usually go to MZ first. But now that I'm on this screen, we see two of Aries. Yeah. Because
I was actually noticing that you're on the big screen. You're going first. You never go first.
I know I never do. But I figured, you know what? What the hell?
Yeah, go for it.
Because I was going to go to MZ, and I didn't want to surprise either of you guys by making you go first. So
I was expecting to go first.
Oh,
but
I got you.
I want you to go first. You never go first.
So, yeah, no, I thought this was a treat. This was fun. And it is a low-budget movie. And it is, you can't tell it was made for $7,000. It definitely looks like it's under $1 million, though. We've seen a lot of low-budget movies in our day. And this is way better produced than a lot of the others that we've seen. So, you know, but a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's Robert Rodriguez. So we get that, you know. But that aside, I think that does this live up to his previous films, his other work? No, I think you have to look at it, you know, in a different light because, as we mentioned, I think that this movie was kind of a proof of concept just to show that you can still make a movie for $7,000. And in order to have a behind the scenes showing how you can do that, you need to have a fucking movie. So I think that is the idea behind this. I don't know if that's the initial kind of genesis of it. Like, hey, let's do this. Let's make a kind of like, you know, a 6-episode documentary of like going to film school, but we'll make an actual movie. So I don't know if that was the genesis or if he and Racer came up with the idea for this movie and then decided to do the documentary afterwards. Either way, this works. It does feel like at times it's a bit of a high concept sci-fi, you know, especially kind of as it's nearing the end. But I think that there's some really great tension. I think there's some really great characters, some good performances, and I really dug the score and the way it looked, and just felt kind of refreshing. Like even though it's like a super micro budget movie, I think this is refreshing. And you know, as I said, go in with tempered expectations. If you're going to see this, don't look at it as, hey, I'm going to get the follow-up to Alita Battle Angel or, you know, I'm going to see the next Once Upon a Time in Mexico that Robert Rodriguez has been working on. No, this is on par with El Mariachi, but he has 25 years under his belt. He has a lot more experience, and he pulls off making a very low-budget movie and making it pretty good. So, yeah, it's going to be a treat for me. I think fans of Robert Rodriguez should definitely seek this out. If there's like horror fans that don't really care about Robert Rodriguez or really know his work, I wouldn't say that this is something you should seek out. I think it's really for Robert Rodriguez fans or for fans of filmmaking that want to see what you can do with $7,000 these days. So, you know, I think it is something worth taking a look at. And I'm also really curious to check out the documentary. I'm hoping that maybe we can kind of like catch that in you know, over the next several weeks and maybe kind of come back to this and kind of talk about it from the point of view of after seeing the behind the scenes stuff. So yeah, this is a treat for me, and I dug it. Now let's see what Aries thinks.
All right, I'm going to completely disagree. He's an idiot, doesn't know what he's... I'm sorry, that's force of habit. No, Johnny makes some excellent points, and I can't be following him up every week because really he says too much good
all the time,
and I got nothing to follow that up on. But yeah, I mean, he, like I said, there is so much that right about what Johnny said about this movie. I think one of the flaws with this movie is because it's Robert Rodriguez, you expect more, even though the what we watched, he does talk about what it is beforehand, so you know exactly what you're getting right from the get-go, but you're still it's Robert Rodriguez. Your expectations are high, and although the delivery is high for the budget, I think it probably could have been released without his name attached to it. He probably could have had one of his kids actually take the helm, and he just kind of takes the back seat and actually see what one of his kids could do in the situation that he was in at that point, given that small budget, although given some of the advantages of having a famous director father, um, I think that could have added a little bit more to this, although that doesn't necessarily take anything away. This movie is definitely an excellent movie to check out for a low budget movie. You're not going to find a better low budget movie than this. So definitely give this a watch. This is a treat.
All right. Let's hear from Michael Ravenshadow.
I mean, when I heard about that we were going to be talking about this movie, my expectations weren't the only thing that were high. But with that said, I think the diversity of his career, there's no definitive Robert Rodriguez style because he does diversify. Crazy Mexican gangster shit, to comic book adaptations, to family fare, to we haven't even mentioned his fucking short in fucking 4 Rooms, or even the fucking Faculty, which the Faculty was fucking dope for what it was.
That was a one for them.
Right. It was this will get me to make fucking Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
No, it was supposed to make Madman.
Oh, you're right. You're right about that. That would have been dope,
man.
too.
I would love a fucking Madman movie. I don't know if I'd want it as much now as I did back then, but that would have been, Robert Rodriguez doing Madman. Fuck, man, that would be amazing.
Oh, can we get Mike Allred back and Robert Rodriguez in the same?
Yeah, let's work on Robert, and then we'll see if we can get Mike back.
Because I will miss Monster Zero less if we can do that.
Yeah, they'll just be co-hosts on the show from now on. I'm sure that's fine.
I'm Mike Allred.
You're my new best friend.
But goddamn, I mean, Desperado, fucking goddamn, fantastic. That came up on the Blackout tapes too.
Did you say mantastic?
He's fucking fantastic. Antonio Banderas, fucking perfect. The hair is flowing. Like, he was like the Mexican Dick Grayson. Everyone wanted to be him. He would love me so fucking good. But I adored this. I literally adored this, and I didn't think there'd be fucking guns blazing and crazy shit.
There was guns blazing, sort of.
Well, kind of, yeah. It was a nice surprise. But Red 11, I think it was dope. Check it out. I love what this dude does, and yeah, it ain't the fucking a blockbuster extravaganza, but the dude's killer, his kid's a killer, and I love it. So high treat, man. Love it.
All right, there you have it. Our thoughts on Red 11. I'm actually curious. I wonder if Racer has anything. Yeah, he doesn't have any directing credits to his name. He has a couple shorts that he's written. Well, actually, one short, and then he obviously has a credit for Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, because he did co-write that with his dad, or at least the story. But yeah, he's. I think he's just now getting into stuff. So I mean, I think he's 25. So like, he's still pretty fucking young. So it's very possible that he's just kind of beginning his career, so to speak. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Rebel or Racer follow in the dad's footsteps and do more. Let's see. I looked at Racer now. Let me take a look at Rebel. I think he has more acting credits. He was in Planet Terror. He played the character of Tony in Planet Terror. I don't remember that character necessarily. I think he must have been a kid at the time.
Over 10 years ago, right? Over that.
Yeah. I don't even remember how long ago that was. It was 2007. So yeah, so it was
yeah.
15 years ago. Yeah. But there you go. That's our thoughts on Red 11. You can check it out. It's available to rent on YouTube or pretty much any of the platforms. Oh, well, actually, one other thing I wanted to bring up. I'm sure you guys noticed one of the weapons that was used in in one of the scenes later on that they got from the doctor's office.
Little from dusk till dawn for your face.
Yeah. Did you guys recognize the other weapon, the one that Magenta had? I was trying to see if I recognized that.
I did not.
Yeah, okay, I didn't either. But the other one obviously was Seth Gecko. Was that the character? It
was definitely Seth. Yeah,
that Clooney played. But yeah, it's the like chainsaw with like the stake on the end. It made an appearance, so it was pretty cool.
They made a Clooney reference, didn't they?
Yeah, he mentioned.
He mentioned. Yeah, they said this is what George Clooney held. They made reference to it.
Yeah, it's pretty outstanding.
It would have been cool.
And it was a jackhammer.
Jackhammer, yeah.
It would have been cool. The gun ball belt thing.
Sex machine.
Sex machines thing, yeah. Because I want that.
It was I guess it was a stake jackhammer, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was Aries.
I'm sure if you actually pause that office scene, that Sex Machine's gun is probably in there somewhere.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because that is iconic. I'm sure that's in his office.
I'm looking up, see if there's if I can find a screenshot. Because there was a lot of stuff in there, so I'm curious now if there's other stuff we didn't recognize just off.
Yeah,
probably is.
Had I known beforehand, I probably would have scanned the room a little bit, but I was more focused on the actors because I didn't know it was his office.
So, all right, well, that is going to do it for our thoughts on Red 11. Feel free to check it out if you want. All right, so next week, let's see here. I just actually want to see if this movie's shit. Okay, the movie I was going to pick doesn't come out till after next episode, so we can't do that one. I may need to take a look at my list and pick another movie because, the movie we're going to do looks like it doesn't come out until the day after the next episode, so I think we'll have to hold off on that one. So I'll take a look, though. We do have a couple voice messages, so I'll look and see if we can find a movie before the end of the show. But we do have a couple voice messages, and let's start out with our boy, Evil Corny.
Hey, guys. I'm giving Red 11 a treat. Really enjoyed this film. Overall, I think that Score might be my favorite character in this film. I like how he pretty much explained how to make a film score. It's almost like one of Rodriguez's classes he used to have, like on his DVDs, of how to cook and everything. But I thought that was a real neat touch. But overall, I love this film. All right, you all have a good one. Evil Corny out.
All right, Corny. Good to hear from you, my friend. It sounds like Corny really dug it. All right, next up, we have a top 5 list. This is from EF Contentment, and he sent us a top 5. This was initially, I think, intended for the year-end show, but we got I don't think we ever told people when we're recording it, so we got the email after we finished recording, so I told EF I would save it till this week. If anyone else has any top 5 lists, feel free to send them our way, podcast@trickortreatradio.com. Just send them in, I don't know, in as far into the new year as you want. And we'd love to hear them. So let's check in with EF, and let's hear his top 5.
Hello, gentlemen. This is EF. For the past year, I watched every film covered on the show from the first week of January to the last week of December.
Impressive.
And I have formed my own top 13 list. But because you're asking for a top 5, I'm going to give you the top 5. As for the rest of the list, I'm probably going to either post it on social media, or I might even do a blog/podcast episode where I cover all 13 films. But if
Awesome.
I do that, I will absolutely give credit where credit is due. And so I'd like to thank you in advance for unknowingly allowing me to glom on to your program. So anyway, here's the top 5. Number 5, Saint Maud. Number 4, The Empty Man. Number 3, I'm kind of cheating here. Well, I am cheating here, but it's a tie. Werewolves Within and Vicious Fun. Because I feel both would make a very good horror comedy double feature.
Yeah, I would.
Number 2, Come True. And number 1, Last Night in Soho. So that's my top 5. My Dear God No award goes to that piece of shit called Honeydew. And I'd like to give an honorable mention to a movie that wasn't covered on the show, but MZ recommended it. Evil Speak. That was a great time, especially the last 10 minutes of that movie, which became 30 minutes because I kept replaying all the ownage going on in that. So thank you very much, Monster Zero. And while I'm at it, goodbye, sir. I guess this is as good a place as any to say goodbye. You will be missed on the show. You know what, though? You're still on social media, so I look forward to your continued presence there, where I'm sure you're going to continue to celebrate the birthdays of real men like Paul Lind or Rip Taylor or Charles Nelson Riley. You know, real men. Also, in case MZ isn't here to listen to this, here's an alternate version. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Really, fuck that guy. And you know what? I never believed he had COVID. Yeah, because he said that one of his symptoms was losing his sense of taste. And I'm saying, a man who enjoys butt crack and bat pussy never had taste to lose. Anyway, take care and be well, gentlemen, and have a very happy new year.
Holy shit. He's not wrong. He's not wrong, right?
EF contentment. He was fucking faking EF.
He was faking.
He wasn't faking, but like, it's funny. If
And EF has one up on Raven Shadow. He actually watched all the movies this year.
You're gonna watch the movies. I watched the fucking movies. EF, tell him.
How is EF going to know whether he watched the movies or not?
Because he's my friend.
Yeah, and your go-to defense was you don't have to watch all the movies.
You don't have to, but I fucking did. Basically.
I got
Prosecution rests.
I have an interesting idea actually for next week.
Uh-oh.
Snoop.
I think I hope this one is readily available. Let me just take a look here. I think it is. It looks like you can watch it on Stars. Do any of you guys have Stars?
I do not.
All right. Well, Stars has a free trial, I believe. But maybe, yeah. I think this would be a fun one to do with our guest for next week. Reason being, because he's a fan of comic books and literature and of film, and he's a really intelligent guy. I don't know if this movie is going to be any good. I've seen some mixed reviews, but this is one that I brought up last year in 2021, and Raven Shadow, you got awfully interested in this. So it could be a shit show. It could be fun. But I say next week, let's do the first ever screenplay written by Alan Moore.
Wait, what?
Alan Moore wrote a movie. Like, it's not based on one of his books or comics or anything like that. He just wrote a screenplay. And the name of the movie is The Show.
Interesting.
And the synopsis: a man's search for a stolen artifact leads him to the haunted town filled with voodoo gangsters, masked adventurers, Depression-era private eyes, and violent chiaroscuro women. I don't even know what that word is.
Kurosawa woman?
Not Kurosawa.
No.
Chiaroscuro.
Kira Sedgwick.
Yes. It says the treatment of light and shade in drawing and painting.
Sold. Yeah. No, I'm fascinated. I would love to talk some, Alan Moore.
Because Alan Moore. I mean, chances are this is going to have a ton of references in it, right? Like myth and, it's going to reference a lot of things in throughout history and things like that. I would imagine. Alan Moore, as if people don't know, he is locked in a wizard battle with Grant Morrison for all time. And I don't know. I just think this could be an interesting one. Do you guys think this is a good one with our guest next week?
I think this is very fitting with our guest next week. Okay. I definitely think this is going to be an interesting conversation. Just so everyone realizes, unconsciously, as I'm making my note of typing in the show, I started typing in the shit show for some reason. So I don't know if why, but I just wanted to throw that out there.
You're calling it already, aren't you?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm being like, maybe I'm psychic and I don't realize it. I did back it up, and it is just the show.
And speaking of our guest, I don't think I've announced yet. Our guest next week will be our old friend. He has the most appearances as a guest co-host on Trick or Treat Radio. So it was only fitting that he is the first guest co-host to fill MZ's chair. It seemed only right to me. So next week on the show to talk about the show, is going to be our old friend and fellow Hossman, El Goro, will be joining us on the show next week. So we'll have El Goro in the fourth Hollywood Square, and he'll be joining us next week. Really looking forward to that, and I think this will be an interesting one to check out. So I'm actually kind of glad that other one wasn't coming out, because I'm glad that I looked through the list and saw that we wanted to do this one. So. And for folks who don't know, I don't know, must be living under a rock or something like that. El Goro is the host of the Talk Without Rhythm podcast, a long-running podcast. He just did episode 600 recently, Raven Shadow. You're aware of that because I know you're a listener now and you're a supporter.
Respect.
Did you listen to 600 yet?
I haven't heard it yet. No, I gotta check it out.
So we'll be joined by El Goro. Looking forward to that. As always, it's a pleasure to hang out with our boy and find out what's been going on in his part of the world. So we'll be joined by El Goro to talk about the show, which was written by Alan Moore, famous, well-known comic book writer. Raven Shadow, tell folks what, just some highlights. What has he written?
Oh, I mean, obviously he revolutionized Swamp Thing, created John Constantine, Top 10, Tom Strong,
Promethea, Tom Strong,
V for Vendetta.
Yep.
Fucking,
Watchmen.
Watchmen.
Yeah.
Watchmen.
From Hell, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
You know what I mean? The Man Who Has Everything. Whatever happened to whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow, the final pre-crisis Superman story. No, dude's fucking legendary. I mean, what gave it away? His record.
By the way, did you know that there was a Union Jack TV series?
No.
What the fuck? There's 10 episodes. Where was this released?
In England?
I don't know.
Not the live action or animated?
Yeah, live action.
Not the real Union, but the real Union Jack comic book character.
Yeah,
the Marvel
for Marvel. Yeah. Where is this fucking? It was in the UK. I'm trying to see where we might be able to stream it. I'm kind of curious.
I've never heard. And Johnny and I, we both have a love for Union Jack.
Yeah.
I have a statue in my bedroom.
I got the Union Jack figure somewhere. Where
Yeah.
is this fucking streaming? That's what I want to know.
That's not real. Is it like?
Oh, is this? Maybe it's a fan series.
Yeah, that's not a fucking thing. I mean, I bring that dude in because he always fights fucking Draculas too.
Okay, I think it's on YouTube. It's a fan series.
Really?
Yep, it's on YouTube. And there's 10 episodes.
Fucking A. You know the costume, the suit.
I'm just gonna play the first episode. I'm gonna skip ahead to like the middle. I want to just see. It looks a little low budget, as you would expect with a fan series, but I mean, it's filmed fairly well, it seems.
Who did he fight? It was Baron Blood, the Nazi fucking vampire. He always fought fucking. There's been like a couple different Union Jacks too.
Yeah, it says when sneaky vamps steal an ancient artifact, how will Joseph Chapman / Union Jack be a hero when he's being harassed by his girlfriend, receiving a bollocking from his boss, and getting drunk with his best mate?
wait. Say that again slowly.
Receiving a bollocking from his boss and getting drunk with his best mate. Union Jack is a fan series of web-based films inspired by the Marvel comics and characters. Union Jack follows the mishaps and misadventures of Joseph Chapman, MI5 agent by day, vampire hunter by night. With absurd allies and bonkers baddies, Union Jack mixes up a crazy cocktail of comedy, superhero, action, horror, and espionage.
Yo, can we do that as a supplemental when Linus is on?
If he picks it, it's up to him.
Linus, yo.
Yeah, but it's 10 episodes. They're all 30 minutes. So you want to sign up for that?
Well, I mean, I don't want to. Well, how many minutes is that?
Why don't you do your own podcast with you, Linus, about that?
All right, Linus. All right, me and Linus, we're going to start our own podcast. It's going to be called.
There you go.
Okay, we'll figure something out.
So yeah, all right. So apparently, they have his name because he must. Did he create Union Jack? Alan Moore, do you know?
I don't think so. I mean, there's been different people who've worn the mantle, but I don't think he created Union.
Yeah, no. It says Roy Thomas and Frank Robbins created him.
Yeah. I think he was an American character. Even like, I mean, it was Alan Grant that did like Captain Britain. So I mean, like, I don't think there's any connection between Alan Moore and Jack.
Yeah.
To my understanding. But the character's dope.
Yeah, so I don't know why his name was mentioned there, but yeah. But anyways, we got off a little tangent about Union Jack there. But yeah, so next week, the show with El Goro. It is, as I mentioned, it looks like it's streaming on Stars. So if you don't have a subscription to Stars, I think you can get a free trial to that. I'm just looking up to see if it might be on VOD as well. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so it was made available in the summer to watch online on a streaming service. But yeah, I'm having trouble finding if it's streaming on all the places. Let's see. I'm looking at another site now and see. Yeah, these are like from months ago. People are asking about it. So, anyways, you guys can look it up and see. I'll actually look on Amazon right now and see if it's playing there, and if it is, it's probably on all VOD platforms. But yeah, so it should be fun. I'm looking forward to having El Goro on. It's been a while since since we did, and always love talking to that dude. And yeah, so it is. You can rent it on Prime Video for $3.99, or you can buy the Blu-ray. Blu-ray is available for $17.99. So if you like your physical media, it's there, or you can buy it digitally for $6.99. So it's out there. So it's on VOD, and it looks like maybe if you do have Stars, check there first. You might be able to check it out there. So, all right, that is it. Let's check email one more time, just to make sure nothing popped in the last few minutes. Nope, I think we're clear. All right, guys. First episode without MZ. No one killed each other. Aries got a couple barbs in there. He going in at me. Raven Chow's holding up the picture of MZ Lloyd Dobler style.
And for some reason, when that photo is sitting on the table, all I can think is Large Marge from Pee Wee Herman. Must be the lighting that when it's on it like that.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
On a night just like tonight.
Yeah.
Shit. I'm a little scared right now.
Hold it up again. By the way, I kind of fucking love this song even before this movie. By the way, if you're not watching the video, Raven Shadow is holding up a picture of MZ like Lloyd Dobler from Say Anything.
I'm
gonna give. We should have given MZ a pen when he left the show.
All my instincts, they return. The grand facade, so soon will burn.
The juxtaposition of me holding this and him doing passing out with his own joke.
Yeah. I can't believe we've had that playing this whole time. Like, literally, like, I was only going to play it a couple times just for a chuckle, but it's literally been playing the whole fucking show.
I'll just keep it to episode 500. I don't care if Goro's here next week. Just keep it. Have him be in the center square. It's Goro. I like that he has a ponytail. That was a while back. Like, I love it.
It's old.
He's like Red 11 right now with his red sweatshirt.
Oh man! All
Get him.
right.
Go fuck Monster Zero. We miss you so much.
I don't miss him that much. I was kidding.
And we were like good.
All right.
You don't like the. All right.
What?
You don't like the trick or treat triumvirate? That's not good.
That's all right. But you know, the idea is that we're not going to remain a triumvirate, but we'll see. Who knows, right? Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. So, all right. Well, that's it. So let's say our goodbyes. This is the first post MZ goodbye. So let's start with Aries.
Arrivederci, douchebags.
And Aries now has a new catchphrase. Raven Shadow.
Live fast, love hard, survive with your mask on.
All right, everyone. That is going to do it. We hope you guys had a good start to the year of 2022. And, hey, it's off to a great start already, right? Jesus fucking Christ. Now I'm going to be working from home again because people are fucking idiots. But, yeah, so everyone stay safe out there. Things, COVID's fucking running wild like fucking Hulkamaniac, brother. So be safe, get boosted, and have your pet spayed or neutered. No, I don't know. That's not my thing. But yeah, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Obviously, big thanks to all the Patreon supporters for helping keep the show going. And, you know, for everyone who's going to check this out, everyone who sent in some voice messages, you guys are the fucking best. Thank you so much for allowing us to do this on a weekly basis. And we look forward to next week when we're going to have El Goro joining us to talk about the movie The Show. So, until then, that's going to end this one. And everyone, like as I said, stay safe out there. Be careful. And wear your fucking mask. All right? We'll see you next week.